What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my vlog here. Thank you all for tuning in. Sometimes you just have to clean, you know? Gotta keep the workspace nice and organized. Today I'm gonna be doing a vlog on how to reseal the distributor in the MR2. The one I have is leaking and I didn't feel like paying $500 for a new distributor, so I'm just gonna reseal the one I have. So let's get started on that. All right, so to be able to do the reseal on the distributor on the MR2, I purchased this seal kit here from Neil Jones. He has a bunch of MR2 parts to be able to restore your stuff. This rebuild kit I'm hoping will get the job done for me. I got a new rotor and a new cap, and I'm gonna start assembling, or I'm gonna start removing it from the MR2 over there. What I'm gonna do first is make sure the engine is at top dead center. I have to make sure it's on the intake stroke, of course, and not the exhaust stroke. Otherwise, when I go to plug the distributor back in, it's gonna be 180 degrees out. So I have to make sure it's at time in the proper location. So what I'm gonna do first is undo the cap, see where the rotor is pointed to see if it's pointed on cylinder 1, which is exactly where I want it. Ensure the engine's at top dead center, and we should be good to go. So you can see how in here the cap has got a little bit of oil residue down here. That's where it's leaking, and the contact point I need to focus on is this one right here to see if the rotor is touching that one. So that's where cylinder 1 is. This is cylinder 1 coil wire or plug wire, and that's the cylinder 1 contact point. So I have to check where the rotor is, which right now it looks like the rotor's pointed at cylinder 2. So what I have to do is I now have to rotate the engine clockwise over to where this little rotor piece down here is rotated the opposite way, and this fat end is pointed kind of this way. Make my job a little bit easier, I'm pulling the wheel off because now I have easier access to the crank, which is right down here. So I'll get to rotating that here. Good to me, so let's get started on pulling the distributor. You know what? Actually, let's go on a side quest here. Who likes side quests? Because I do. Let's see how a 15 by 7 wheel fits on the MR2. Just for fun. Can't really sit the car on the ground. I don't have any blocks of wood to put under the wheel. But this is a 15 by 7 with a plus 25 offset. I'd say that's damn near flush. So what I'm thinking I'll do if I want to run 15s all the way around front and rear, probably do a 15x8 with a plus 25 offset, and in the front, do a 15x7 with a plus 35 offset, just so it still has that staggered fitment that I want. That'll still give it really good handling. But this actually does not look too bad, the black and the silver. I was expecting they look kind of horrible, but still kind of actually looks pretty good. I'm surprised. Time to put the wheel back on before I lower it back down and pull the distributor out. Also, make sure you always torque your wheels to spec. See, it's been all leaking internally and a bunch of gunk that's all gotten down in here. So time to fix it. Realized that with this kit, it came with this little pin here that is supposed to replace the pin here. So right now I am drilling it out. So about maybe halfway through it, but you have to drill it out in order to put this new pin in. So well, my battery died, so I had to whip out the good old jackery here. This boy comes in handy. Definitely highly recommend one of these if you're doing any sort of anything, because if you're needing power on the go, the jackery is just a great go-to. So anyway, back to what I was saying here. That little pin in the distributor gets replaced by this one in this kit. It's kind of a, I can't even remember what they call these things, but it's like a squeeze type pin, and you just kind of hammer that in. But yeah, the factory one gets pressed in, and you have to drill that out in order to be able to use this specific reseal kit. But so far everything's going great, so we'll see how this goes. Alright, so after some struggles with drilling, and some more drilling, I've finally got the pin out. Now I just need a bearing puller to be able to pull this gear off. Or even a gear puller, whatever works. I actually just decided to hammer it out, and I'm wearing white, which is kind of a bad thing to wear considering I'm getting pretty dirty doing this. But got the shaft out. It comes out through the top, in case you guys are wondering. It looks like there's a seal here on this end. Of course, there's this outer shaft seal that seals the distributor itself. And then there's some more seals probably inside there, which I'll take a look at as well. There's this seal here, and there's the bearing as well. So I'm going to replace both the bearing and the seal since I have everything here to be able to do that. Alright, so I went ahead and I started cleaning everything with brake clean because this should be a pretty dry system. No oil should be getting in it. So I cleaned out the entire inside of this, just fogged it with brake clean. Same with the shaft here. Cleaned off the gear for any metal shavings or anything like that. So any metal shavings would have gotten onto it from when I drilled out the little pin there. Cleaned out the whole shaft. Everything should be all good to go. Now I just need a bearing puller to be able to pull this off. So here we go. The really cool thing I noticed about this distributor as well, it is a genuine Toyota distributor. So I'm guessing this is probably the factory one that came on the engine. I mean, it is for a 4AGE. So I'm guessing it's the factory one that came on. I'm excited for that. And can kind of rebuild and kind of restore the old factory pieces here. Alright, so if you guys do pick up this kit as well, this little O-ring here does not go anywhere on the distributor. It actually goes on the connector to the distributor. It goes right around here on the female end, not the male end. That's where that one goes, just in case you guys were wondering. What I'm going to do now is this seal. This is one of the main oil seals there. It's the shaft seal technically. This will sit right in here, and you just have to make sure, because there's a little bevel in there, you just have to make sure this sits kind of flush with that bevel, maybe even slightly below it. So I'm going to try to slip this in here. Actually, use a little bit of oil to help with lubrication as we slide it in there. Got a little bit of oil here in this cap. I'm going to lubricate this little seal around here. And then I'm also going to lubricate the inside as well when I slip the shaft back in. That's what he said. Now you may be able to use like a seal installer, but I mean you can easily get this seal in without even needing the installer. It slips right in once you oil it there, so that's pretty simple, thankfully. Alright, see, this is another reason why I love having the Jackery. When I'm in the shop and I'm working on cars and stuff and I need like my drill, need to power my battery or any other power tools, Jackery just comes in handy. I mean, right now it's a Jackery 240. It's outputting 38 watts. This is a 240, so it has 240 watts capacity, I think with a surge of 300, which is pretty good. It gets the job done for what I need for right now. I need something a little bit bigger. At some point I'll probably look at upgrading to like a Jackery 1500 or something like that. Or maybe even a Jackery 2000, that'd be really cool. I didn't think things through, and I had to borrow a Wild Ryan here to give me a 3-jaw puller to pull the bearing off the shaft there. And now we're headed back to his place to be able to press the new one on, but this is the process of how you reseal the distributor so far, so you guys will kind of see this whole process and be able to get more of a visual, hands-on learning type thing. That's not all you get, but you can put it there if you want. Okay, I think that is perfect. missed it, but I set the fucking MR2 on fire. It does run. I was just an idiot and decided to spray brake clean right on the frickin' exhaust manifold, and it caught the whole engine bay on fire. But thankfully, that's why I keep a fire extinguisher in the glove box, and that definitely came in handy. All right, guys, well, that made for a very eventful install of my distributor. So I got it in, it's no longer leaking. I do have to clean out the engine bay though now, so I'm gonna go do that. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this gives you a better explanation on how to do the rebuild kit on your distributor. It's kind of a pain, kind of time consuming, but definitely worth it in the end, because then you won't have a leaky distributor anymore. So please like, subscribe, share, and comment down below. And just remember, don't quit on a body that won't quit.